Hello everyone, I'm Nini FC and this is Blue Lions TV, and today I'm bringing you guys the match preview for our upcoming massive game against Barcelona later tonight at 7:45. You guys, it's going to be a big one, but for this match preview today I'm going to break it down into two parts. Now, with the first part, I'm going to be talking about how I think we can target Barcelona and how I think we can potentially beat them. And for the second half, I'm going to be talking about the match preview, general stats, and how I think the game is going to go, and what I think Conte might use for his tactical preparations as well. But anyway, you guys know this already. Please smash that like button, help me get 500 likes for this video. And if you haven't pressed the bell notification button, please press that and stay tuned to all things Blue Lions TV. But anyway, getting straight into the first part, and that's the match preview. Now, there's a few things that can really help us, and really I'm seeing everything as a spectrum. I'm not seeing it as there's one thing in particular that's going to be key. It's going to be a multitude of reasons that really help us get a positive result from this game. And the first thing we can do to have a better chance at beating Barcelona actually falls in nicely with the last point I was making, and that's attacking the spaces in behind where Sergio Roberto plays in particular, and Jordi Alba. Now, Conte was stating earlier that he does have a plan for Barcelona. He sees one particular weakness in their system, and to me he must be talking about that right hand side. And for me, it's going to be key, it's going to be crucial that we get Eden Hazard down that side where he's able to collect the ball and run at people, because Hazard can get past anyone and everyone, and by him skipping past a player or two, he could potentially stretch Barcelona in midfield where, for example, a Busquets would have to help Jordi Alba and push out to the right hand side, freeing up space maybe for Morata to make a run in behind, or Willian. And honestly, that's the only thing I'm worried about, because Hazard will be key to winning this game, but I really feel to get the best use of him, we're going to need to have some attacking support around him. Just by having him and Morata isn't going to be enough, because as I was stating, Barcelona like to play through the middle. They do keep things very congested. If they're pressing us high in the wide areas, our fullbacks a lot of times will be naturally having to pump the ball into the middle, where Hazard and Morata will be outnumbered, and it's not going to be an effective area of the pitch for them to really get the ball and make counter-attacks happen. So this is why I'm hoping that Willian will be playing in this game either in a 3-4-3 or me preferably being used in a 3-5-2, which I delved into a lot of detail in the video I released earlier today, because I feel that Willian could be that guy that could drop into midfield to make a 3, and he'd be key to helping us beat that first phase of Barcelona's pressing where he can collect the ball from deep, run at people, and hopefully if he's collecting the ball, that means that Morata and Hazard could then focus on moving into dangerous areas in the pitch, running into the channels and getting on the end of passes instead of being so rigid and strict by staying in the middle. And I really think that's going to be key to having a very effective counter-attacking approach against Barcelona. Another way how we could get something positive is not using Gary Cahill in this team. I'm sorry, I'm going to sound very harsh here, but in a way I kind of feel the injury he sustained against Barcelona, that famous win 6 years ago, was key to helping us actually win. And if you actually look at the manner in which he picks up that injury, it was typical Cahill. Obviously someone running at him being all over the place, and then obviously he injured his muscle by obviously applying a bit too much pressure when he was off balance, and we can't afford that to happen. Cahill isn't someone that would be comfortable defending on the ground, and against Barcelona it's not going to be a game where there's going to be any aerial threat, so I really feel that Cahill isn't needed for this game, as Barcelona will look to target him. We'll have to use Morata's pace. Yes, I know people are talking about Giroud, but the reality is a lot of times we'll be parked in our own half, so we're going to need the pace of Morata to actually carry the ball from greater distances. Giroud has no pace. Giroud needs people to play beside him to make anything happen, and that's not going to be happening all the time realistically against Barcelona. And the last reason why I think we can get something favourable is how we defend off the ball. Now again, the way we defend off the ball, we do it against every single team regardless. I mean, we did it against Hull City. We'll look to drop back into our own half. We'll keep our positions very compact. The lines between the midfield and defence is probably 15 yards apart, and we try to stop teams obviously attacking through the middle. Also, to help strengthen that, we do have a compact back three with Christensen dropping in a bit deeper, so he's able to actually sweep up any danger in behind. And this is why teams can't attack us through the middle. They can't break us down through the middle, and that's going to be key against Barcelona, because that's the main area that Barcelona really get much of their joy from. And I really feel that with how we naturally defend off the ball, that could work in our favour. And I'm just hoping that when we do naturally win the ball at times, we just have effective counter-attacks. Now, in last night's press conference, Conte was asked a lot of questions in regard to the upcoming game. Eden Hazard was also with him for press duties as well, and Conte was asked about how he thinks Chelsea can stop Messi and what his game plan is. Well, in a way, Conte didn't really give an answer to this question, and that makes a lot of sense. Of course, whatever plans he would have, he's going to keep it a secret because you don't want your opposition team trying to reshift tactics around your new plan. So of course that makes a lot of sense, and Conte just gave a standard answer stating that Messi's a world-class player, blah blah blah. And that point falls in nicely with another question that Conte was asked, and that was in regards to how he thinks Chelsea can do against Barcelona. And Conte gave a typical Conte response. He was saying that, well, it'll be a great test to really see how Chelsea do against a team like Barcelona. It'll be a really great litmus test to really see what level we're at. So again, it's not really saying anything. And of course, Conte said his usual stuff about how, of course, we need to play with great enthusiasm and great passion, and also we need to suffer a lot. But this does bring me back to one earlier question that Conte was asked the day beforehand. And I've never really seen this type of confidence from Antonio Conte, and that was basically him saying that, well, I feel that Barcelona do have their weaknesses and we will be looking to exploit it. And he let us know the fact that he has been preparing for this game a month in advance, so that says quite a lot. And Conte is very, very assured in his press conferences. He knows what he's going to say. He doesn't say anything without reason. So the fact that Conte is mentioning that in a press conference tells me that maybe he's feeling pretty confident and he feels that he has a solution against Barcelona. So that does give me great hope for this upcoming game. Still, in regards to the lineup, a lot of crazy rumours are coming. There's talks that Hazard could potentially even play as a false nine against Barcelona. I'm not too sure about that. I do think it can work, but I just feel it depends on where the front three obviously collect the ball, so they can obviously run at people, and it's going to be effective. It's going to be key that we get Hazard especially being able to run at Barcelona's defence on the left hand side, with how poor that right hand side is in terms of having no pace and having Sergio Roberto, who isn't good one-on-one defending. We need to make sure Hazard consistently gets the ball on that side so he can run at them and cause havoc, because the minute Hazard's on the ball, Piqué and Umtiti are going to be forced to move out wide, especially Umtiti, who tends to do that quite a lot. And I saw one game a while back when Valencia were playing Barcelona. Gonzalo Guedes, the guy, ex-Benfica guy, the guy on loan from Paris Saint-Germain, had a very good game against them. He was causing a lot of havoc down that left-hand side, and he was leaving Umtiti for dust at times as well. And that's the problems you can create when you have someone that's good at running at opponents with the ball. And I think that's going to be key in helping give that space to Morata, who needs to exploit it and obviously be on point with his finishing today. When I see what the actual lineup's going to be, that's when I'm going to get a really good idea and an assessment of how I think the game is going to go. I'm really hoping that I see Willian in this game. I really feel, and I keep saying this point all the time, to beat that first phase of Barcelona's pressing, Willian could be key in helping us transition from defence to attack. He'll be key in freeing up the spaces for Morata and Hazard to make those runs in behind and collect the ball in better areas in the pitch. And I think that would be key because we can easily transition from a 3-5-2 to a 3-4-3. And I think that would be key to helping us get something favourable, because we can't do the same mistake again of giving no attacking support for Morata and Hazard, because they struggle, because Barcelona keep the pitch congested. You guys have seen my tactical breakdowns on Barcelona. You know everything. I've covered literally everything. I've watched how many games. I've done it all. I've given you guys the best understanding of how we can play against Barcelona. And obviously, we have to use their narrowness against them. We have to attack them down the flanks and get Hazard and co in those wide areas. If I see someone like Drinkwater and Cahill playing, I will be disappointed, and it is going to make me even more nervous, because I'm going to know then that our counter-attacking opportunities aren't going to be as good. If anything, this is where game management needs to be a part of this game. Of course, if we do get something favourable in the first 60 minutes, 70 minutes, then make that substitution to bring on a Drinkwater. Because you guys, I say this all the time, we can't afford to not win this game. We've never won a game at the Nou Camp. I'm not expecting it to happen under Antonio Conte. I just feel that we need to take some type of brave approach in this game today to make sure we win, because it's key. And too often, with Antonio Conte in particular, he does sacrifice the first leg being overly cautious and pragmatic, and it hasn't helped us. Famously against Arsenal this season, where they fielded a weaker team. They had Niles playing as a left wing back who isn't even a wing back. No Sanchez, no Ozil, and to think we still played on same normal cautious way was very disappointing, and that really was why it cost us progressing in the tournament. And I knew straight afterwards that we weren't going to be going through to the final after not getting a favourable result in the first leg. So Conte is going to have to pull out the bag today. And not only is it Conte and the team, but it's the fans as well. We need to be that 12th man in the game today. Still, Hazard is our key man because, again, he's been one of the best performing players in the Champions League. He's been our best player in the Champions League. Some of his stats throughout this competition have put him at the very top, so he's going to be key, and Barca will be fearing that. And I'm hoping too that we do have a bit of a mental edge over Barcelona, who have suffered a lot against us over the past few years. A lot of the players playing there will know and understand that feeling. Even Valverde stating that he's not necessarily happy with drawing against Chelsea so early. So that really lets you know that if we just get the system right, and if we can get those good counter-attacking opportunities, I think we could do the impossible today. And I think we could do something, but if we don't, this game's going to be another Man City 2.0, and it's going to be a shocking performance. But anyway, you guys, that's going to end today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this tactical breakdown for the game. I think I've covered everything. But just before I end this video, again, the points I'm making, I know how football works. I think if we were to use some of these things, it will give us a much more favourable outcome in this game. But the main thing is it's going to rely on players taking responsibility. Will they take that chance if it comes to them? Will they get back into defence to help each other out? Will they make the right tackle, etc, etc? It's going to come down to how the team plays on the day as well. And another thing is the fans need to be the 12th man tomorrow. We have to apply pressure on Barca. We have to boo them, especially Messi whenever he's on the ball. We have to give the players that confidence behind them by singing their names and supporting the team. So I'm hoping that every Chelsea fan lucky enough to go to the game tomorrow is going to be up for it to make the atmosphere amazing, because the team is definitely going to need it.